You see, belief is this core foundation of understanding the resurrection. Belief is this amazing thing. And as I think about my conversion experience, about the time when I first accepted the Lord, there was this point of belief. Now, I was 4 years old, and so some of the details are a little bit foggy, but this is what I know from hearing stories from my parents and also from my own memory. My mom makes these amazing chocolate chip cookies, okay? Some of you have heard this story, some of you haven't. She makes these amazing chocolate chip cookies, and she had made these amazing chocolate chip cookies, and I asked her, Mom, can I have a cookie? And she's like, yes, you can have one before dinner. And I took two. And then I realized that you could tell by the way that she had stacked the cookies that I had two, so I had to eat like 4 more to make up. So it didn't look like it. So at 4 years old, I'm living a life of deception from my parents, trying to deceive them that I only took one. And she comes out and she's looking and she's got this puzzled look on her face. And she goes, did you take more than one? And I'm like, oh no, I only took one. You know, and so later that night or later on in that week, my parents always shared a Bible story before I went to bed. Well, one of the Bible stories that they shared happened to be the story of Ananias and Sapphira. For those of you who don't know the story of Ananias and Sapphira, it's after the launch of the early Christian church, and they had said, I'm going to sell a portion of my land and I'm going to give all that money to God. Well, they lied about it. And when they lied, they died. They were struck down dead. So here I am, 4 years old, having lied to my parents, hearing this story, and I'm living in fear. And I'm crying, and my mom's like, what's going on? And I tell her, and I confess it all. And she says, you don't have to worry about that. Jesus came to save you. And that night I accepted the Lord into my life. And I believed. And I believed for the first time that Jesus went through everything that we're going to see in the next few weeks for me. And you'd think that belief would transform my life to be to be radically different. And for some people it is, but for some people it's not. For me, belief was the lower story. It was my get out of jail free card. It was, man, I don't have to go to hell now. This is good. I get to go to heaven. But it never radically changed the things that I did. Yes, I went to church. Yes, I lived a good life, and I tried to do things that were pleasing to the Lord, but I didn't fully own my belief. And John, who wrote this beautiful gospel, explains the resurrection and everything that he had written in the book in the last verse of chapter 20, when he says, but these things are written that you may believe, which I did, that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. And I started to think to myself, what does life look like? How is life radically changed and radically different because of belief? And then it goes on, the story goes on, and we get to see this awesome thing happen. The disciples, they all believed, and Jesus says, hey, receive the Holy Spirit, and you have the power to forgive sins, and all this cool stuff. And what do? They go fishing.